Hello, hello, hello. It's Megan and Leah back with your episode of Brick by Brick this week. How you doing, my friend?
Yes, doing good.
Well, I am
Can we hear me
so
good?
excited because we have, I think, one of our favorite people that we can talk to today. We have
Yes.
Katelyn Almeda joining us. Let's bring it up to Katelyn. Hello, friend. How are you?
Doing well. How are
so
you?
excited to have you, girl.
Good. Caitlin is like the person I want to be in life. I mean, I love
She gets to do the
everything
dreamy things.
you've done with the spaces. So to give everybody a little bit of background, Caitlin is an Airbnb Superhost and ambassador, and she is a baddie. She's awesome. I love her. I mean, I love
so
everything
many
you've done with
people.
design. I love your aura. I love everything about you, and I love how you kind of got to this space too. So when Leah, pitched, "Hey, let's get Caitlin on the show," I was like, "Sign me up yesterday."
Yeah. Interviewing our fangirls, our true fan. We get to be fangirls.
I know,
Like real professional fangirls.
It's really exciting because I mean, I think as someone who went to art school at VCU and then sold myself to the devil and went into sales right after college, my outlet is design, like 100%. And so when I see stuff, I see these spaces you've done, Kate. I mean, they're just amazing. So yes, we're happy to have you.
So true.
Would you like to talk a little bit about your background and stuff? Give us a little bit of an intro to yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. So my career journey actually began in concerts and like major events. I was a tour manager on the Vans Warped Tour back in the day, which was like
and I mean to see this like
I know. See, once again, I'm like, why wasn't I there
Tom
with you
Gentle
in the
solo
mosh
with, like,
pit,
a Warped
dude?
Tour.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
That was my summer gig in college. And then I graduated and I actually became a brand strategist for a marketing agency for about 6 years. And then I found out what Airbnb was. A friend of mine actually told me that my apartment in Carytown, quote, looked like an Airbnb. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I looked into it and I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool concept. So I booked some stays.
so fun.
And
Cool.
I was just really inspired after chatting with the host that I got to meet.
Yeah.
And motivated to give hosting a go on my own. So in 2015, I bought my first property in Churchill. It was my primary residence, and I set up my very first listing, which was just a private bedroom.
So
my own house.
amazing.
Oh, how Richmond loves Miss Libby. Like we talk about Miss Libby.
Yeah, so Miss Libby was your first Airbnb you did, right?
Yeah, just
So
a private room.
That is super, super cool. Is this on your website here?
Yeah.
It is. So this is your
So-
website, hostwithkate.com. Super cool. Here's the Miss Libby, y'all.
Yeah,
this
so now
was
it's
your
the
first
full
project.
house because
Okay.
I've since purchased another property.
It's beautiful. So you were living in this as your full-time residence and
Yeah.
decided, let me give it a go at the Airbnb. It sounds similar. I mean, that was kind of how I got into it as well because I had a basement that we weren't using and said, okay, if I could make $1,000 for my kids' daycare, let's do this. And we made more than that, which was super exciting. So you did the same thing. You kind of put your foot in the water and you're like, yeah, I like this. And you liked having the guests and then kind of the camaraderie, I would assume, too, because it was in your own home, right?
Very much
Yeah.
so. I felt like the world was coming to my doorstep and I was just meeting the coolest travelers from
Yeah.
all over and they were just so grateful for the space and I just realized that I really loved doing it. I had never
Yeah.
really been in hospitality before, but I felt like I was onto something.
Yes.
So-
No, I agree with you. I think there is something really
Love that.
special. Leah hosts too, and something to be said for giving that experience to someone that's really grateful and expresses that gratitude to you. Like, I'll never forget, I had this younger couple, and they brought their 2 cats because I allowed cats in mine too. Potato and Gazpacho were the cats'
my
names,
gosh.
and they left me a little print that they had bought at Maymont, and it was like this pinball machine, like artsy illustration, and I have it framed in my living room now because they wrote the sweetest note on it. They were like, "We can't thank you enough for such a wonderful experience in Richmond. You really like helped us and made us feel wonderful." And I gave them tips on places to go, and like that's
Yeah.
like the coolest
best.
experience that you get to help people and just have that really curated experience, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it looks like you're doing that with your spaces too. They're beautifully curated. I love like this Murals of Richmond, guys. Making it super local is really appealing to guests, quirky and fun because like we've talked about in past episodes, they could easily stay at a hotel otherwise, right? And have the very
Absolutely.
basic sterile experience. And it would have been some nice hotels too. I'm not trying to diss. There's some great boutique hotels, but I just think that what you get with this too is not only like that unique stay, but then the host plays a lot in it. And so we
Yeah.
could talk a little bit too about, Kate, you are also an ambassador and you help hosts get started. So do you want to talk a little bit about that side of what you do now?
Sure, I'd love to. Yeah, I help onboard brand new hosts to Airbnb and start their own furnished rental businesses. I've helped over 1,300 new hosts from all over the world at this point, with all sorts of different listings.
1,300.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a really fun journey. So,
Yeah,
anything
is.
from a little glamping tent in their backyard to a full-on castle in Vermont, like all sorts,
Wow.
a glass house in Hawaii, all sorts of cool spaces.
I can't believe I was just telling her about these glass houses on that
Yeah.
dope new project that I have
Yes.
to. Like, there's so many ways to create cool stuff.
Yes, so many ways to be creative. I think, and here the three of us are really creative people, okay? So
Yeah,
there are people
that's true.
out there, I think, that are like, man, I
That
want to
need
do
that.
this because I either I dig the idea of like being a host and getting to meet cool people, or maybe I just really need some extra money and I've got like this guest house. So if you're not creative and you're watching us out there, we love to consult, okay? So that's, I think, where you can always reach out to
Yeah.
other mentors. Not everybody gets into it alone. I think,
Yeah.
Katelyn mentors people. Obviously, Leah helps host. I'm just a creative soul that likes to gab. So it's like, reach out. That you can find us
them,
on Brick by
design them,
Brick
dream
on
them, create them.
RVA Brick by Brick on Insta, and then you can
Yeah.
also reach out to Katelyn too. Hostwithkate.com. You can find it's Kate Spaces on
Yeah, that's
IG
me
as
on
well. So
Instagram.
there's lots of ways to find us, you guys. If you're not the most creative person in the world, I just wouldn't let that stop you, right? As we're all
Yeah,
bubbling around saying,
everyone
"Oh,
should
this
look
is
into
great."
it.
For
Yeah.
sure. And there's so many free resources.
Yeah.
Even my ambassador work with Airbnb is totally free for these hosts. This is something Airbnb pays me to do, but it is at no extra cost. So please take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. See, I think people don't know that necessarily. Like, you can go to the Airbnb site, right? And if you're thinking about hosting, there are resources there for people to check out. There's always, I know, tips and blogs and stuff with decor tips, housekeeper tips, like all these different things, welcome baskets, lots of different things that you can do to make guests feel welcome. So if you're interested, I wouldn't let inexperience or lack of creativity stop you.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah,
a
and we
way.
have, like,
Where
one
there's a
link.
will, there's a way, right?
That's right. And there's
Exactly.
like one link we can send to guests too that
Yeah.
can just literally walk them through step by step how to host and how to
Right.
be a great host. So if anyone watching us wants to receive that link, they can just inbox us. and
Absolutely.
we
So
can
hit us
send
up,
it.
send us a message, DM us on Instagram,
Yeah.
and we'd be happy to talk about that. So that was your first Airbnb, Miss Libby, right? And so
Yes.
then is this where you live now?
This is
the
where I live now.
Beehive?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a while where I had a whole collection of unique stays in San Diego. I had a whole co-hosting business there with yachts and floating homes and surf shacks and whatnot. Moved up to San Francisco for a little bit, and then COVID happened, moved back here, and my partner and I purchased this really cool property in Henrico, and we live in the main house. We have 12 acres, and we currently have 2 guest houses. My dream, we have all these garages you can kind of see in the back
There's
there.
one.
We
Yeah.
have 7 additional
windows, yeah.
huge garages, and my dream is to make them into more living spaces and an event space and host
My God, I
corporate
love that.
retreats and wedding parties and do
Yes.
the rehearsal dinner there and have this really nice nature retreat for bigger groups of
I
friends and
love
family.
that. I love that you've got a hive, a happy holiday. How cute is that?
I go a little all out for the
No,
holidays.
I love it. I love that. And I love you got your little pup here, $25 pet fee, which is super affordable. Like, that's not crazy to have a pet fee factored in. And I think that's the other advantage of Airbnb is I had a lot of people with pets. I'm sure you would say the same because they'd rather have this type of space than a hotel when they're
Oh, yeah.
traveling. Absolutely. Well, this looks beautiful. So the other spaces on your property, do you think you would actually do builds? Have you looked at alternative container types of homes, or what are your thoughts on those types of projects? Have you guys thought that far out yet?
Well, I love the idea of container homes. homes for
Yes.
sure. Anything weird and unique, I'm
do
a fan
too.
of. But
I'm
we
into
already
it.
have these garages built. Like the structures are there.
They're there.
It's just a matter of converting them into like more studios.
I want to
and
come
living
walk your
spaces.
property one
You
day.
should. Yeah.
Leah, let's take a field trip one day and we can do some more
professional field trip.
off-site on Instagram. We can show you all some video of Katelyn's property because I just think it would be really cool to do some more exploration of this. I love that.
Yeah, and the fall's coming and she's an incredible fire pit.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Fun. Okay, cool. We could definitely plan something in the future for that.
that'd be great.
So that's awesome. So you have the 2 guest houses now, and those. What's the occupancy rate like? How full are you? How are you doing with those? Talk to us a little bit about that and the seasonality of your business.
Sure. The Bow Hive is our short-term rental. I would say about 20 nights a month at least are booked.
That's good.
Every weekend for sure, and then a few weekdays sprinkled in. And then the Fox Den is our other one. That is currently a midterm rental.
Okay.
Just because in Henrico, you can only have one short-term rental permit.
Yes.
Unless you get a full-on bed and breakfast permit, which is what I want to do eventually. But for now, we just need to get some money generated and save up for that big plan. So that the Fox Den is booked all the time as a midterm rental. It's 30 plus nights.
Awesome. Is the Foxton's on here too?
Yeah, it's right
okay, so
there.
this is the guest house. Pretty cool,
I'm
guys.
so glad I got
Yeah.
to stay in it right when you were finishing it up too.
This is
It's so peaceful.
I love
Thanks.
that.
She
I
has
should have
like
given you some of the
blackout
before
shades.
photos because they looked a lot
Well,
different.
we can post them on our Instagram
So
too,
gorgeous.
or share some of your feeds. Yeah, this is. Oh my God, was the
Isn't
ceiling
it
already
fun
there?
and funky?
Was the
It
ceiling already
was,
like?
and she had it painted.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, that looks so
And
good.
Katelyn, remind me, is it gold or rose
Oh.
gold in person? It's like a rose gold, isn't it?
That's
the
so
ceiling
pretty.
is like
Ceiling?
orange.
Oh,
Our
is
friend
it
Will
orangey?
did it.
Okay, I
We
was
used
thinking it
actually
had
a
like
couple different colors to make.
I
that
feel like
color.
it definitely had like
I
a
love
metallic
these
vibe to it.
built-in
It's so pretty.
banquette, like-
oh yes, this
Thank
is
you.
a good
Did you
That was
do
one of
that?
that was one of my favorite projects.
Ah.
Well, the structure was already there, but it looked completely different before
Oh
I
my
put
God,
up the wallpaper and painted and
wallpaper,
whatnot.
love it.
Yeah,
girl.
I reupholstered those
So
and
pretty.
my partner Josh put up all new lights. I was really proud of him. He picked out all of those light fixtures.
for him.
Yeah, he was an electrician back in the day, so
Oh, that's
it's nice
nice.
to have someone with that background
Yes,
as
it
a
is.
partner.
No, I love this. It's so cozy. You have so much greenery around you. It's really pretty property.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why it makes such a nice nature.
Okay, so there you see the main house up
retreat.
there, but you got your
Yeah.
separation. That's really cool.
Yeah, and there's the fire pit right in the middle of all the structures.
Yeah.
And then we have like hiking trails and a whole 7-acre forest, and we have a
so
lot
cool.
of animals come through. Hence the name the Fox Den, because actually when we moved there was a family of 6
fox.
or 8 foxes that lived there. 6
Aw,
little babies and a
so
mom
it
and
is the
dad
Fox
that lived
Den.
under the Fox Den.
That's
So that's
so
kind of where I
cute.
got the inspiration.
I love
that.
that.
And I love that you landed that because I remember you published the space inquiring what should we call
How
it?
did you find? Okay, so that's a good thing. How did y'all
great.
find the whole property? Like, where did you find it on MLS? Did you find it through a realtor? Was it off market? Like, talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
So I am a real estate agent. I'm just a referral agent at this point, but I was on MLS and we were very patient because I specifically wanted a guest house.
Yep.
And when that one popped up, it said it had 2 guest houses, and
You're
I was like, get in the car right now, Josh. We're going to see this. And actually, before we even got to the guest house portion of the property, we were in the main house. And once we got to, there's like a really lovely view from the sunroom and the dining room. And like, we basically stopped there and we were like, where do we sign?
We're
This
done.
This is it. Like,
My God. So you
Yeah.
found the perfect property. You were patient. That's the key too.
we
I
were
think
really patient. We waited for like a year and a half.
you can't force things. Timing is everything, so good for you for waiting and finding that perfect property for you guys.
Yeah, I'm also really grateful. Like, we were lucky to have that time. Like,
Right.
when we moved back from San Francisco, we had Miss Libby to stay at until
right.
we found that next property. So we weren't in a rush.
Hurry,
and-
right. No,
Yeah,
I think
that was really nice.
I think that's a great point to people. It's like, if you can sit in place and be comfortable, wait. Like, you don't always have to be rushing for the next thing. I feel like 5 years ago, I was always trying to find that next project instead of letting the project kind of find me in a way. And now I've kind of like made myself slow down. So I think that's good advice to those out there too. You can't force a square peg into a circle hole.
Yeah, and
Right?
be patient to make sure you find like what you're looking for, or either if your vision is unique. I mean, just thinking about like, finding yourself an opportunity to build it on your own.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I felt like all of my skills and talents came full force into a listing appointment yesterday, where I was able to look out the backyard at this client's house, and she says, "What do we think we could do with this shed?" Y'all, this just ain't no shed. It's a tiny house. It's got like a loft
you're like, you can
upstairs.
monetize
It has a
this.
full like front porch. She's got swings on there. I mean, it's so the ADU, additional dwelling units, are
Yes.
also becoming really popular.
Yes.
So one of the things that we're going to do to advertise this property, this will be coming this fall on the market, it's like we're going to give them a whole projection and guideline and outline of like what could be the potential there.
And where is
And
this
so
located?
this one's going to be in Chesterfield, Bon Air,
Chesterfield.
actually.
Okay.
So like imagine having, all
Yeah.
the things lined up with proper permits, with the regulations being confirmed, but you could do a total house hacking experience. And that's actually a financial strategy where you are monetizing the property, but you're exceeding the fruitfulness beyond the actual mortgage payment, and then living for free,
Yes.
but still income generating on top of that. And
Yeah.
there's lots of people doing it. So I just think it's like really going to become a more and more popular strategy now that this whole region is a little bit more regulated in each jurisdiction. So I remember showing this property to another guest or friend of mine before, learning that Katelyn bought this property, and I had like a very similar vision. And so it was just been beautiful to get to know you, Katelyn, and like see the magic like come forward. And it's just so unique because this is like tucked in the back of a neighborhood too.
Yeah.
So you just never know sometimes where you can find just a gem.
Right.
And they don't pop on the market right away. But like, the other thing that Katelyn and I have learned more about too is like recommending the right properties that would suit,
Yes.
regulations. And
Yes.
she just reached out to me recently, and she was like, "Leah, I just want to be able to recommend a few more of these. I'm learning that like I'm able to recognize them better. I can
Yeah.
help recommend them to people that want to buy them and invest in them." And so,
Well, that's the
it's-
other. You bring up a
it's-
good point.
you need
because
help sometimes with that
Sometimes
part.
the agent is going to be key on this, right? Like if
Yeah,
you're not a
where we
realtor,
can collaborate
all three
with
of us
them,
happen
too.
to have our real estate licenses,
Yes,
so we'll go ahead
which
and
makes sense
disclose
for our
that.
businesses. That's right.
Yeah, and so even though I'm full-time sales here at WRIC Channel 8, I do still have my license on the side, right? But I think that being said, if you don't have access to that MLS, find an agent that is willing or good at this. So it could be, I mean, Leah's still a full-time agent, y'all. If you need somebody to help you find deals, and Katelyn and I
Yeah.
are looking too, but it's like, you got to find the right agent. So typical agents that are just looking for residential houses, for schools and whatnot, that's not going to be necessarily the agent that you want to be looking for. Like Katelyn and I and Leah would say, yes, does it have a duplex? Does it have an ADU? Does it have, what can you do
Yep.
to really
What can you
monetize
do?
this?
Yep.
Instead of thinking
Exactly.
about, is your dining room going to fit 12 for Thanksgiving? That's not the hunt we're going on, right? So you always, I think that's a good point for when you're looking for a realtor anyway. Make sure that your goals are defined
Yeah.
clearly with what they know that you're looking for,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I actually started another Instagram account called Share RVA.
Okay.
Specifically for properties that would make fabulous home shares.
Oh, that's a
so
good
like sharing
idea.
properties on the market that have an ADU in the backyard, or a guest suite, or a basement apartment, or a duplex, where you could easily get a permit to do short-term rentals in the city of Richmond.
I love that.
Yeah, where at
Yeah.
least we can confirm online that like the zoning
Yes.
code like works for the current statute. So,
That's great.
and then I mean, you still have to go through the process,
Yeah.
and they will reconfirm it for you.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely something that should be done with guidance. And so we also welcome agents to reach out that if this is not a space that you're familiar with or an
Yeah.
asset class you're used to selling and helping people buy and sell, happy to collaborate with
Right,
them.
because the last thing you
it's-
want to do as a newer
Yeah.
or inexperienced agent is get somebody locked into a contract with a house that has an ADU, thinking they can do something with it if they can't, per the permitting or the
Exactly.
HOA or whatever it might be, right? So,
Or just
no-
simply if you're not used to helping make recommendations on things like that, or
Yeah.
if you don't know how to do projections on things like that for the income,
Right.
it's Yeah.
It can be a whole different ballgame.
a
Much
different
like
space.
residential to commercial real estate are two different worlds as well.
They are.
Right. So, I
They
mean,
are.
Yeah.
it's definitely to find somebody that's an expert in their field. And I feel like, Katelyn, you have definitely far exceeded expert status. I mean, you're a super host, you're an Airbnb ambassador. Any funny stories that you may have had from guests in the past that you'd like to share with us today?
Such as this unique one that we talked about.
Yeah.
There's so many
There's a
good
lot of stories,
There are
but-
so many good stories, but the one that always comes to my mind is my partner of 8 years now was a guest of mine.
That's so crazy.
And now we have a 2-year-old.
Isn't that so fun? So they met. They met through that. So share with us.
Tell
Kate.
us.
Yes, do tell
Yeah.
us. We want the tea.
So I get a text from this guy, and he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a space for 4th of July weekend." And I said, "Sure, book my guest suite." It was my new space in San Diego. He got my number from another Airbnb guest of mine that had recently stayed about a month prior. And my mom always came in the summers to help me because it was just crazy busy in the summers for my short-term rentals in San Diego. And so we met him at the same time. And she invited him over to dinner, and he basically never left.
Oh my God! Here we are, 8 years
History
later.
Bacon.
No longer in San Diego, though. Now you're in Henrico County,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah, I brought him
I mean,
back
moving
home.
across the country with you and everything. This is
Yes.
so sweet.
It's amazing. I love that
Yeah,
story.
I love
he
story
loves
from the
Richmond. He
stars.
loves Virginia. It's cool to see him turn into more of like a country.
That's
boy.
amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I took the boy out of the West Coast, but maybe a little bit of him lies underneath. No, that's really sweet. I think it's so
So
cool
cool.
now that y'all get to work together on the project that you have, and it
Yeah.
sounds like you're going to be expanding, which is awesome.
So he's my
Embrace
co-host
that sweet
now,
girl.
and they call us an air pair.
Air pair
There's a such
girl.
thing.
That is a thing.
I love
Like,
that.
this happens.
Is there like a group for that on Facebook
There
and
should
stuff?
be.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've met several of us. I mean, it kind of makes sense because, like, well, a lot of times, like, your design vibe is kind of
Right.
a
Like
reflection
what
of
attracts.
who you are, and it totally makes sense to me that I've met some of my
Yes.
best friends through hosting.
I
you
know.
So true.
And
It
I'm
is
sure that
cool.
happens
And
a lot.
I feel like people that Airbnb in general kind of have that quirky vibe, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah. And so I think the odds of you meeting somebody that does something similar, more kudos to you. That's awesome. I love it.
That's a
I
great
love that you
story.
brought him back here and you've added another cool person to Richmond, because Richmond is, that's why another reason we started the show is because we feel like it's such an opportunity to highlight all of the cool people that live and thrive here with us and continue to
Yes.
help build this city with us brick by brick. I mean, so be sure to hit up Katelyn if you're interested in potentially looking at some spaces or thinking about hosting yourself. It's hostwithkate.com, Kate Spaces on Instagram. And as always, Leah and I would love to be your girls. You come back and see us next week as we build things brick by brick together. And you can find us at RVA Brick by Brick on Instagram. So until next
Yes.
week,
Keep dreaming big, people.
Yeah, we'll
and keep helping us
see.
build brick by brick.
that's right. We will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.